Hopefully that got my email to you.
You could have done it by myself.
I don't do that because that's probably better if you feel it.
That's okay.
For sending to the link. Okay, I don't know what WhatsApp as well. Hello everyone. We're back for the second half of the match. I'm just going to share the BBO screen. You'll be able to see what I can see. Okay, link up in this room. I'm probably going to be watching in the other room. Okay, everyone knows that can hear me. This is the second half of what has become the big match in the CBAI Camrose Trials 2025. Peter Pigot versus Mark Moran. And there's a small lead to about 10, 11 imps to Mark Moran at half time with 16 boards to go. I'll be watching in the other room, so the YouTube will be related to what's happening in the other room. But we'll be flicking back and forth to this room occasionally. YouTube commentary with Peter J. Okay, welcome for those of you that have rejoined me. The second half of the match, Peter Pigot versus Mark Moran. It's exactly the same pairs and exactly the same combination, which means it probably was Mark's choice of seating. It's a 14 imp lead at the moment to Mark Moran, which puts them in first place narrowly by one VP. And there's two more matches after this to play, and Mark has got to navigate Carl Durimick's team and one of the weaker teams, and Peter Pigot has to navigate Matthew O'Farrell's team of juniors plus one of the weaker teams. So all to play for, and we'll have live commentary probably from board 18 onwards when we catch up. Eve is with me, so we'll keep you informed of what's happening in the other room with BJ O'Brien and Derek O'Gorman, playing Adam Mesber and Nick Fitzgibbon. Introduce a lot of different bidding systems, so I'll try and translate as we go as to what the bids may or may not mean. It was quite good quality bridge in the first half, so let's hope for the same in the second half. Okay, one off. Don't know if that's good or bad at the moment. We'll soon find out.
I can't get in.
dining up the other room at the moment. Occasionally press put the link in now and then. Okay, so Thomas McCormack is playing what's called Pressure Bridge, which comes from the United States. And Connor and Tom are playing fairly standard 2-over-1 with a few gadgets, which I'll talk about as they come along. The club is only 2 when they're 4-4 in the majors. They open a diamond with some of their balanced hands as well as a club, which is unusual these days. They open a diamond with some of their balanced hands as well as you have to turn this volume off.
Somebody said they weren't getting the video.
Turn the volume off. Okay, we're just sorting out a few technical issues here. So, won the trump, 10 to 11 points. That seems ideal for it. And Peter Pigot's not going to do anything with the 12 count opposite a past partner. I would expect to go PPP. Well, let's see. Not in. Well, that's a bit of a bid. Don't know if that's classified as a pressure bid or putting pressure on his partner. That was a little bit of a surprise, especially with the 4-3-3-3 hand.
Board 17, they're in 3 clubs, east west.
Did you make?
Playing it.
Okay. So we'll keep you with the scores as we go along, and those of you that need the scores, I'll give you the link. Okay.
Three clubs made, 2 imps tomorrow.
Okay, so Ace of Clubs lead will be for attitude, could be reverse attitude. Okay, and normally that means you've got the queen when you play small bear. He was considered probably not given reverse attitude, but he doesn't mind his partner continuing. So still got 2 clubs in the heart loser before he does anything else. He's going to need an end play to go 1 off, I would suspect. But they've just come back from lunch, so it's possible Peter Pigot didn't remember his partner was a passed hand. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have passed one no trouble. That dubious 12 count. Grueling events. You're playing 64 boards today, and they'd already played 16 this morning and another 16 just before lunch. So 32 boards played and another 30 to go after this one. So 7 tricks, which I suspect is going to be 5 in loss, but you never know. Terry's going to keep an eye on the other side and fill us in. Thanks, Terry. That's a big help. Like, normally when we do these commentaries, there's two of us, so we bounce off each other. So I'll occasionally get Aoife to chip in with a few words.
At the other table, South open to spade, pass. On a trump by North. North is playing on a trump.
Which may well be. On board 18, they won the trump the other way, North South, which is likely to go one off, but may sneak home. Terry can't talk, but he can type. So any questions you want, pump them in, and Terry will answer them as well. So it's great to see so many of you watching. It is the crucial match of this event. So well worth watching, and then you'll know how to play against these players. They're both playing slightly unusual methods. So two hearts is stronger with two than you might expect sometimes. So North is worth a try. It's deciding between three and a trump and four hearts, I suspect. Yeah, when the trump at the side. Did one the trump make Terry, or are they still playing it? Probably still playing it.
They're on trick 2.
So West has bid three hearts. We don't know what that means. Maybe Eamon will tell us if he can hear what they're saying. I think Eamon Gallagher is doing the view got from the other room. Okay, so as I said, he's siding between 3N and four hearts. 3N is often easier, and it could be here. 6 hearts, 2 clubs, and 2 aces, so he would have made 10 tricks in hearts. South has got an awkward lead. We hate leading from 4 to the jack, and he might well lead a club here, which is a good lead. Trying to hit his partner's suit, he's got a 4 count. His partner's the one that's going to have the missing points. And it's close between a diamond and a club. There we are, he's led a diamond. Diamond needs less in his partner's hand. So he's hit off with a good lead. And maybe that'll hold it to 9. He's got to knock out the ace of clubs. So but diamonds are a bit blocked. Wasn't routine whether he ducked the diamond or took the first one. It's probably is right to take the first one. It's the 10, 7, the 6 gives you some protection. And if South had double on it to 5, you might have let a big one. Okay, look, he's not certain whether he should be unblocking the king because his partner could have had queen 10-9x and decided he didn't want to play the 10 in case Connor had king to 3. So it's a bit of a guess here whether he plays the 8 or the king. But one thing he does know is his partner doesn't have 5 diamonds, so there is very little point in unblocking playing king in another. So it might be better playing diamond and a spade. Win the diamond with the 8, catch the king, play a spade. All it does is save an overtrick. Okay, well it's understandable why you did that. Could well be wrong. So it'll now just all wrap up the 10 tricks that probably we're going to make most of the time. I think if North had ducked the first club, it might have made life difficult for Reese to find the end play to throw North in the fourth diamond if he had to. But he didn't. Not hands to use a lot of your energy over, because over tricks are so really important. Under tricks can matter. Vulnerable under tricks can matter significantly, but over tricks no. So what are we doing on this one then? This is an open bit. I have a feeling with this pressure system they play, which is similar to 2 over 1, but more aggressive, hence the word pressure, they open a heart. They're going to weaken their trump range with 4 hearts and 5 diamonds. They open a heart. Let's find out. Let's see what I know about the pressure system, which is diddly squid. Okay, it's either upgraded out of 15 count or they're playing 14 to 16. Systems are available through the website if you want to check them out, but I won't be. No, the Americans might well have bid with a North hand to show a 5-card mine and a 4-card major. Okay, so it's a few imps more to the Mark Moran team on
5 imps.
80 about 18. So 1 the trump, 2 clubs, start of some sequence, 2 hearts, 3 clubs. Okay, so set up a non-slam try with clubs. He's suggesting the club that 3N isn't the right spot. And he could well be right. Clubs, because the clubs don't come in, 3N is not playing well. And he's showing his heart stop. But maybe he's implied he's got 4 spades at this auction. He obviously hasn't got 4 spades, so I presume. Oh, yeah, so someone knows the meaning of this. Well done. Jason Doyle. Welcome, Jason. Yeah, you can be our expert on the pressure system. Okay, when the trump was 14 plus to 17 now. Maybe that is 14 plus, you know, or 14 and the plus to me. Only because of the 2 small doubletons. So mind the rest of it being upgradable. They're in a bit of trouble because 3N's not going to make it. It's going quite a few off. 5 clubs is probably not going to make, but might. Is that right? It might make, because North has to follow to, South has to follow to 4 rounds of hearts. So you can get rid of 2 spades if they don't lead the suit against 5 clubs, and they won't. And you can get rid of another spade on the diamond. So I think 5 clubs has got chances. Whereas 3N is, it's not that many off, is it? It's got 8 tricks. And you might find the South doesn't lead a spade too easily. Okay, this isn't really what East wanted to hear. His partner's clearly not got a spade stop, and has got 4 hearts and 5 diamonds on this auction. And South is saying, I've got 6 or 7 clubs, go away. Now they're in a good contract. They're in a better contract as the cards lie. The trouble is they've really sort of earmarked a spade lead at this auction. Peter, I can't do anything for you. You need to ask Ijala. I don't need anything done. Thanks. I'm good. YouTube link for specs here. Okay, those of you on BBO can hear me. Obviously, I have the link. Give the link to any of your mates. Can be handy. So Connor wouldn't normally have led a spade from that holding, but the bidding seemed to indicate that the spade lead was called for. And if the alternative auction had gone 1 no trump, 3 no trump, which you might have, then North could well have led a diamond, which would have let this contract come home and a small diamond lead. So sometimes giving away, looking for too much, trying to provide too much information to partner can be a downside. And I think 1 no trump, 3 no trump would have bought the contract and a favourable lead. But it may not have. There are going to be equal problems in the other room.
They made 4 hearts on board 19.
Board 19 is a flat board. So it's 21 imp lead to Mark Moran's team. Okay, so they safely gathered their 2 spade winners, and they at some stage will be getting a club winner. It's not a bad contract, you just needed the club's 2-2 or a non-spade lead. It's a shame 3 no trump has got similar type chances. He's contemplating finessing the club, but it'll show out very soon. It'll be a quick claim for 1 off. And the interest is what the bidding is in the other room. Terry will let us know.
It's got 1 diamond, pass, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, pass. We're waiting for East to bid.
Just going to flip to the other room to put in the YouTube link for the people that have arrived late. You able to paste that in your room or not? The YouTube link? Yes? Okay, no, I don't need to leave.
No, I don't. I'm not even.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay. So a spade, 5 cards major. Now we need a double by East. South is 2 spades, which varies quite a bit in range. A lot of people play that constructive these days. 3 clubs of this vulnerability can be quite a weak hand, just indicating a lead. And I think you should be bidding on your 6-4, so I agree with 3 clubs. He's to raise the ante if he needs to, even though he's got queen to 3 spades. Okay, well, a traditionalist, queen to 3 spades, a bad holding passes. North had no interest in game, that's why he didn't introduce 3 hearts as a bid. And, but it feels as if 4 spades has got some play, but the spade is wrong, so you won't pick it. 4 spades need a 3-2 heart break and a 3-2 spade break. I give the play diamond, diamond. And you happen to cash the ace king of spades, which is not actually ridiculous on the bidding. Once West turns out to probably be 6-4, if you can read their carding, you mightn't be able to read their carding. If you could, then you could well play for East to have 3 spades and heart length, and your club loser could go away. So, okay, roughing that and cashing the ace king of spades, and you could be making 4. He's only in 3, remember, so he'll be worried about the bad spade break. Okay, well, very good. He's not risking the spade finesse, which is sensible. And he's going to make 4. So, whether he would have done that if he was in 4, I'm not so clear. Okay. Now on 20, Mesbah Fitzgibbon did make 5 clubs, so I strongly suspect it wasn't a spade lead. Is that true, Terry? So they haven't actually scored 420 yet. Oh, 5 clubs has just been played. Oh no, they haven't. They haven't finished 5 clubs yet. So I expect they'll lead a spade. Now North is a bit concerned the spades might be 4-1. But to be honest, if they are 4-1, it's likely that East has got at least 3 hearts in this auction. Okay, so it's looked like 420 is going to be flat on the spade lead. So well equalised. It feels as if he should rise with ace of spades for the reasons I say, because East is going to have at least 3 hearts most of the time, so he can get rid of his club loser. But if East had only 3 hearts, then he probably has to have a heart and a club. And what's the danger of putting this 8 of spades in now? It's not really any danger, is it? Don't see. No. So he could safely play the spades by putting the 8 in. He's sort of thinking of that. And it potentially costs him an overtrip. I'm surprised he's taken so long over this, because we are only talking an overtrick if he puts the 8 and he loses to the 10. Whereas putting the ace in, he would only lose 1 spade. Yeah. Okay. Like, they have a lot to think about. It's not just this match. They're conscious that the Pigot team have a slightly easier running in the last 2 matches, so they need to build up a significant lead.
Can you send a link to the BBO? I don't know how to copy and paste from that.
So that's the lobby. I'm going to send it to lobby.
Okay.
You've got it on the table or something. You just have to find a way to get to the table because you're not on the table properly. You just message in the lobby. So when the trump again, 14.5 to 16.5, balance with 2 spades, usually showing spades in the minor. And spade is wrong. Heart is right. 4 spades, a heart. 6 and 2 club tricks is 8. But he may lose too many tricks in the meantime. I don't think so. They've got a diamond rough, haven't they? Yeah, he probably has got 6 losers. Ace king of diamonds and a diamond rough is 3. King of spades is 4. Ace of hearts is 5. And king of clubs is 6. Not too much about it. So it's going off in 2 spades. So it all depends if one the trump was making. And the clubs are looking fairly nice. So maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't.
I was able to put it up in the lobby.
Oh, okay. So it's not ideal using YouTube for doing the commentary. There is an audio commentary available on BBO, but you have to have applied for it a few days in advance. So we'll mosey on through with this. So 2 spades by north as predicted, 1 off. Hands haven't really suited Pigot and McCormack. There hasn't been many pressure bids which suit them. Maybe this hand is one to get going. They bid a lot on shape, on hands of the 8 to 11 variety that we might not all bid on. Now, I'm surprised that isn't a stronger trump by South. So 14 count with a 5 card suit, and they're willing to upgrade 13 counts with a 6 card minor. So that fits the bill in some ways, but in other ways, Jack X of clubs is a pretty shoddy holding. So maybe 1 heart is right. And North has a void and not many points. Doesn't think he's good enough for 4 clubs, which probably isn't. So South will let that go, and that's going to be that. And it looks like it's just the 2 hard losers. They can't get the diamond rough. They can't find their 5 clubs vol against non-save, which is a pretty good save on a hard lead, because 5 clubs would have made. Well, may have made. I think it would have. You throw your spade loser away in the king of hearts, you see. So not much opportunities for Pigot and McCormack to do anything in this set. In fairness, there are not many opportunities for anyone. They're not as exciting as the first 3 boards of the previous half. Gives me a chance to look at the other match. Okay, De Raymaker and Onashuk, Keaveney and O'Connor are starting their comeback against Camrose and Moira O'Connor, Susan Hill, 7 imps. And the juniors, we'll have a look what they're doing over here. The juniors, which is Matthew Farrell's team, are now beating the Cullinan team. And it's good to see Michael Donnelly and John Connolly back playing in Irish trials. Haven't played for nearly 10 years in trials, and they're still only about 30. Okay, back to reality. So 4 hearts, Julie made 11 tricks without breaking a sweat. And East West didn't find their 5 clubs save, not unexpected.
Board 22, East West are in winner trump.
Right.
At the other table, it was 2 spades -1.
Different contra in 22. They didn't balance with the north hand. So it could be a swing one with the other. So won the trump 14.5 to 16.5. 2 clubs is Stayman. But it covers other hands other than Stayman, as we saw earlier. 2 spades is a 4-card spade suit. Probably not 5. And the East hand is the hand that a lot of the experts are trying to avoid having to bid this way. They hate having to make invitational bids because it's so easy for North-South to double with whoever's got the 4 spades or doesn't have the 4 spades. So they would double these limited auctions quite often. So we've got a heart and a spade loser that for definite. Club loser is definite. and a diamond loser, so possibly someone has bid too much.
Four M's to Pigot. On a trump -1.
Okay, won the trump, as Terry has just told us, went one off in the other room on the board 22. 22, so 4 M's back to Pigot. Deficit is only 17 now. They want to try and escape with a 12-8 loss at worst, in my view. Preferably a win. Okay, well, a sneaky little lead. Thought they're playing fourth highest. So you'll put the 9 of hearts in. You won't put the 9 of hearts in, okay. Okay, South couldn't afford a false card because it would have been probably confusing his partner. But West will be thinking that the Jack of Hearts is going to score if he finesses it. Not that he's got anything to throw in it, mind. He needs the clubs 3-3. He knows he's going off already. He's just trying to avoid going too off. Okay, now that Jack of Spades wasn't a good card to see. I think he might well play a small spade now to try and handle a 4-1 break with South having a quite probable Queen 10x. Okay, he felt he couldn't afford to handle a 4-1 break. Surprised, but yep, because he thinks the Jack of Hearts is going to score. He'll be disappointed. Okay, well, he gets, at least he throws his 2 clubs away. In the meantime, they'll be drawing trumps. Just got the timing slightly wrong. He's better off ducking the spade, or putting the spade to the 9 first, and then doing what he did with hearts. But they would have, in the meantime, they would have knocked up the clubs. So. But the Ace of Diamonds a win or lose, it looks like, doesn't it? So we're not quite certain what went wrong. We feel that maybe West probably should have let it go in 3 spades. Can't really blame East for making a try with his 8 count. Partner could have had a poor 17 is the best his partner can have, remember. They're playing 14.5 to 16.5. But East had his points in his suits, which is always my criteria. So East was very much bottom end for inviting, and West was definitely bottom end for accepting. 23 will be flat and face certain, Terry. Terry was reporting from the other room. So it was lost in the bidding and a little bit in the card play, but probably just an imp on this one. We need to tighten up a little bit. Okay. Over trick difference on board 23. Need a bit more in the hands to get the potential from the likes of BJ O'Brien and Derek, who like to introduce some interesting bids, as do the four players at this table. I think you all know the Tom's team. He's playing with Adam and Nick, been around since the year dot. Connor's quite new to the team. And Derek and BJ in the other room were quite a new partnership together, but they did play in the last non-Tom Hanlon Camrose team around about 2019 during COVID. And they were leading the Camrose until the Sunday morning. They have played a lot, yeah. So that'll be a very disappointing result, minus 150. And there we are. They didn't even make a try, the East Hand in 24. And one that Trump probably made, or probably will make. Losing a little bit in the judgment area at the moment. We need to tighten up. So that's fairly routine one spade, and this vulnerability is probably a fairly routine two no trump. You hate your suits, there's no quality in any of them. But you have to make it difficult for the opponents to find their slam if they have a slam on, which they probably don't. Well, they definitely don't. Improbable about it. Spade, a heart, and a club loser. Okay, these are ones that we all have to work out what we're doing when they bid two no trump, which are both minors. We need to know the difference between three clubs and three diamonds. Nearly anything works, but the simplest one is to always play three diamond as the game try in partners major. And the other cue, which is three clubs here, covers all the other hand types which you may have that aren't suitable to double. That's just a little bit of a tip there for those of you that are working out your defense to the good, bad, not the good, bad, the unusual two no trump, and guess them in general. Just try and simplify it, otherwise you wear yourself out. If you play with someone for 30, 40 years, like Nick and Adam, then you can have more complex methods. But in general, you need to simplify a lot of things. So I suspect he's meaning three clubs is a good way of raising spades. And the hand isn't that good, to be honest with you. I know you've got a lot of points, 12 count, but Queen X of clubs is bad news. And he's gone for another slam try. Not. The only thing is, it depends what three no trumps means. Okay, so in the other room, they defended against the 4-1 spade break. Good to see that Brian Cleary is listening. How's my assistant doing in the background? How are we doing, Aoife?
Well, they're playing on no trunk on board 24.
He's going to make it.
Yeah.
I think 24 is going to make at least 7 tricks, if not 8. Maybe only 7.
Yeah.
Now, Nick will tire tonight. He's no spring chicken, but they do have the benefit of a 6-man team, so they can bring in Mark and John for this evening. Okay, so East West are paying the penalty for bidding 4 spades, I think, on the last one, although they probably weren't going to make 3. And 6 imps. Yeah.
Don't think those messages private to you. So.
Oh, I see. We're getting some feedback from the other room from Terry Ross, so I sort of know what's happening. And Aoife's watching on the other screen. So they safely stopped in 4 spades this time, which is good. And South has to duck this. All the club loser goes away. And he doesn't know if his partner's got 10-9 doubleton. He's facing his partner doesn't have Queen 10 doubleton. So I think either way it's right to duck. His partner's got 10-9 doubleton, it doesn't matter what he does. When his partner's got 10-7 doubleton, then he has to play small. Singleton 10. Not so easy for Connor because his partner does sometimes play cards that are unusual. And this isn't one of the times for that. So well done, he managed to duck successfully.
So Nick over the junior trump bid just bid 4 spades.
Yeah.
The other day.
Limited. In the other room, 1 spade was limited to about 15 because of their strong club. So West had no interest in even investigating a slam.
And we did a leather diamond.
A lot will depend on who the next match is against, I would think, for the Pigot team. They'd like it to be the easier team they're playing for the last 16 balls tonight. So they can regroup. Whereas it doesn't really matter for Mark Moran's team because they've got the extra pair. So, pass looks very normal with East Hand. I wouldn't be surprised if South opened, but he chose not to in this hand. It's purely because he's got cards in the right place. King Jack combinations are better than straggling jacks. There's no wasted queens, but he chose to pass. If North had the south hand, I reckon he would have opened. And the 15 count with North, I see no reason in the world why he wouldn't open that when they're trump. And as Terry Walsh has commented, it is unlikely BJ will be passing with the south hand. He tends to not use the green card as often as some people. So on this auction, he's just simply transferring. I'm going to bid 3 no trumps now, and that's where it'll rest, I predict. And East has got one of these horrible hands. What do you lead? You're not leading the hearts. You hate leading the club from jack to 4. Spade, if king 10x doesn't look too attractive, I think you'll just end up beating the diamond again by default. Okay, well done, Thomas. 3rd and 5th, I'm playing, although I did seem to play 2nd highest, really. Okay, so diamond is led, and Tom Hanlon's deciding is, even though there's a 26 count, there's a lot of holes in this. He quite likes the diamond lead. He's probably got 2 diamond tricks. 3 club tricks is 5, 2 hearts is 7, and a spade's 8. The obvious place for a 9th trick is the Queen of Hearts, but it's not there. What is less obvious is the 8 of clubs is going to potentially be a trick. But that's only if he plays a club to the 10. And is that reasonable? I don't think it is. You'll take the hard finesse before a club to the 10, surely. Maybe you can do both. Okay, well, he's not going to even think it was a club finesse, so he's just going to take the hard finesse now. And then he's still got chances the hearts could be 3-3. And he can also set up the 5th heart. He's got 2 entries to dummy. And if they set up a diamond for him, that's enough. Now, Thomas McCormack has to fastly switch to a spade. So it might still be okay. And there's nothing better for him to do, is there, with what he's got? Club will be too slow. So say he switches to a spade, then has North got enough tricks already? He's got his 3 clubs of diamonds, 4. Spades 5, a heart is 6. No, okay. That was too slow. Need his partner to have more points than he could possibly have. Easy for us to find the spade switch because we're looking at all the hands, but North could have had the Queen of Spades instead of the Queen of Clubs. So 9 tricks will be a comfortable score, and it's going to be quite difficult for all South to equal that. Could do. So seem to have picked up a few. We've got those 6 imps they picked up. That's the Moran team. So 24 is a nice little lead. And boards are running out for the Peter Pigot team. They've got a comfortable 4 VP lead now, the Moran team. So I just feel Picot's got to knock that down to a 2 VP lead. And the ownership team is still behind the team they're playing. Okay, well, back to this match. Now we're looking at here, BJ did open a heart. North presume has been 2 clubs, and he's got a wee bit either 2 hearts or an awful looking 2 diamonds.
You get 2 diamonds.
Yeah. Quite so I couldn't wee bit 2 no trumps, so that's on my card. And then they got stuck in the force in auction. So we think the auction went half 2 clubs, 2 diamonds by South. 2 clubs was game forcing. North no doubt tries full suit forcing.
Just have it 3 diamonds.
Terry tells me a 2 diamond rebid shows 5 hearts. I'm not convinced, but if it does, it does. But all they've really indicated is a spade lead. They've really pinpointed a spade lead for North South. And on a spade lead, he's going to have to duck that twice, take the 3rd one, and just take the heart finesse and fall apart a bit. I don't think BJ is going to make 3 no trumps played by South on a spade lead, a small spade lead, or the Queen of Spades lead. Should you lead the Queen? Should you lead small? It's quite difficult when you've got an 8 count. You know your partner's got some values. You know your potential an entry with a diamond that you can play the Queen of Spades, but you don't have the 9 of Spades, so you're reluctant to lead the Queen. But either works, Queen or the 3 of Spades will probably defeat this contract.
Queen of Spades is led.
So we are a bit apprehensive about 26 being a flat board. We are in the Pigot camp, which we're not, of course. We're completely neutral. So, 1 diamond. What surprised me is that was a 1 no trump opener early in the match. And now it's a 1 diamond opener. So there must be some theory behind when you open a diamond and when you upgrade this to a strongish no trump. The feeling is to do with the quality of your 6-card minor. I guess. North has got a choice between 1 spade or 2 clubs here. Probably will bid 2 clubs. If North had bid 1 of a major, a lot of people these days are playing transfers with the South hand. You would have bid 2 clubs to show 6 diamonds. But diamond, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds. So 2 clubs game forcing, remember, 2 spades. Generally 4, but might only be 3. And got a choice between 2 no trump or 3 hearts. Three hearts has got the advantage it will right side 3N a lot of the time. The South plays 3N and the small heart is led, and it goes 2, 9, Jack, Ace. South has got a horrible guess. Should West get in again? But fortunately for him, West doesn't get in again. It's East. That's just at least 9 or 10 tricks and no trumps, whatever you do, I think. Yeah. Even if they duck the king of diamonds, you've got 5 clubs, the heart is 6, 2 spades is 8, and the king of diamonds is 9. Okay, so he chose to support clubs, which meant that North now is not too happy about bidding 3 no trump on queen to 3 hearts. So he's pushed the boat back to South. It looks like it's 3 or the 3 hearts lead from them. So we're predicting 26 is going to be 12 imps.
13. You went 2 off.
Okay. If you went 2 off, it would be 13 imps.
Yeah.
Just feel that the event is tempered out badly for the Pigot team having to play the Moran team on the Sunday afternoon. But yeah. .33 imps is 37 imps is very significant. So that looks like it's only about 3.5 VPs, I would think. I haven't scored it yet. Okay, it's not much of interest in the card play on this one. It's just going to be 9 or 10, maybe 11 and 3M. A little bit worried about misguessing the hearts, so maybe he'll just take the spade finesse. Okay. Felt that East had the ace of diamonds, so that's fine. And now they've got to cash the heart, or they might not make it. Not the time for ducking. You feel he's got a duck, but that doesn't give South much of a hand if he's not got what he's got. Agreed, South might have the Queen of Spades instead of the Queen of Clubs, but is that likely? Don't think so. He would have won with the Queen if he had it. Okay. Just have to be careful. They're letting a lot of imps drift away with them. I know they're only over tricks. So, what have we got here? Diamond grand, is it? Not quite. You got some guessing to do to make a grand, but 6 diamonds is certainly well playable. A diamond, 2 diamonds, which they play as both majors. And I know a lot of people play Geston, but this is the hand that the Geston people hate because they have to bid 3 clubs, which takes the bidding high when you're vulnerable, and it means you can't bid weaker hands safely. So 2 diamond works out a lot better than Geston to show both majors over a 1 diamond opener and over a 1 club opener. So 2 diamonds show both majors, and 2 spades. Okay, again, they seem to have some agreement as to which one to support with the previous hand. So that shows the diamond support. West should be quite excited with his 5-5 shape, and his partner's likely to have values in clubs or on the majors, which North has shown. But in the meantime, South does have 6-card support for his partner's 5-card suit, and a little bit of shape, being 6-4. Despite the absolutely shocking vulnerability, I think you should still be considering bidding 4 hearts with the South hand. Yes, you're going to go for 500 a lot of the time against 420s, but you've now made it difficult for them to bid, and you're offering them 500, and they may accept it, but they may not get it. Okay, well, East has decided that this match is going a bit out of their comfort zone, so he's punted 6, and why not? He's got a 13 count, 6-card support, knows his partner's got a bit of shape, and he's got a lot of controls. Might even be 7 on his concern, but he knows they can't be investigated. So his options were 5 spades or 6 diamonds, I think. So well done, getting to their 6. Doubling 4 hearts wouldn't have been that great, to be honest with you. A heart, a spade, a diamond, 2 clubs would have been 500. So the moral of these hands is look at the vulnerability carefully, but with 11 card fits, you still got to be bouncing the bidding. Tried to make it difficult, it didn't work this time, but it will work on other ones. So, do we have any results on 28 in the other room, Terry, or any bidding?
No bidding yet.
Okay. It's more difficult in the other room because the diamond is nebulous. The diamond could be a doubleton because they're playing strong club. And it's not clear how BJ and Derek would show both majors over a diamond. I suspect he's just going to overcall a spade. Examining the hands, okay. So on 28, we've no result yet.
Diamond opening.
Yeah, nebulous diamond open on 28. So on this 29, we predict that North will open a club, whereas South would have passed if he had the hand. That's when the view graph is helping, because when you play against the likes of Tom Hanlon and Conor Boland, you really need to know this style of bidding. Here we are. We knew he would open, and we also know that Conor Boland wouldn't. And we suspected that's the case, and the evidence seemed to be proving that. So a club, a diamond overcall, which is a good suit, good points on both. Okay, well, in the middle. Club, a diamond double, which has to be just showing hearts. He's got 5 of them. 4 plus hearts at the end. West, he would have done more than 2 down, but the vulnerability is not great. We'll certainly put 3 down as a 5 card support.
$28 and diamond North has bid 1 spade.
As predicted.
And the East now has bid 2 diamonds.
What's the room in the world?
And Nick now has bid 3 clubs.
Okay, well, they'd say if we got to 4 hearts, and even if West had bid 3 diamonds, I suspect they would still have got to 4 hearts. We would have stopped North bidding. And I think they're going to make 6, if not 7. Just the 6, isn't it? He'll draw 2 rounds of trumps, and he may take an early club finesse. So he's got an easy way of getting back to dummy to repeat the club finesse. There we are. This is the second heart. I don't think you'll see a third heart. I think you'll see it. If you do, he'll run the 10 of clubs, but he might buy a club. Okay, you did see the 10 hearts, in which case he'll run the 10 of clubs next. West is unlikely to have singleton king of clubs, so he would have maybe done more. Okay, 618. And probably always make 618. So it's potential here. Potential for BJ. If Derek opens, and I think Derek would open a club as well, he might open a heart in the other room. They play 4 card majors. Strange positions. The lead is 38.
They've bid to 4 diamonds so far on 28.
Mm-hmm. Probably going to get them. So one spade opener by South, pass is normal. This looks like a one the trump bid. Well, maybe he's, yeah. He can't bid 2 clubs because that's Drury, and 2 hearts doesn't quite describe the hand. One the trump, okay. up to 11 points. And South has got an interest in 16 count. It's a better hand for transfers. If you could put 2 clubs to show the South hand, you've got a bit more options available, but they don't play that. South is showing 10, 11 points. Has he got that? Just about 11 points, yeah. South said, thank you very much, I'll try 3. He's at fourth highest this time. Well, that was nice for North. He knows he can now set up another club trick if he needs to. But he's short of tricks, but I think that they sort of come in because the hearts are favourable, aren't they? So if you make 4 hearts, he's got a diamond entry. So 4 hearts, 2 diamonds is 6. Club is making a 7, the spade is 8. And presumably another club. But in the meantime, they can attack and will attack spades. So it's not routine. Okay, he's knocking up the Queen of Hearts. And I feel there's some sort of end play going to be inflicting east at some stage. Maybe not. Right, so he's warned him about not continuing clubs. Well, not that he could continue clubs, of course. And now if he's playing spades, he may as well play the king, because the one similar to North is quite likely to have is a spade. Well, he read the 4 clubs as meaning something else. He couldn't afford to throw a diamond. But this is quite good in some ways that it knocks out the entry to the clubs.
They've got 7 diamonds on 28.
It's not making, is it? Well, 28 could be quite a significant board in a potential comeback, as Nesbitt Fitzgibbon have bid 7 diamonds, which figures to go 1. But there is scope to let it out, I have a feeling. But not much. So, diamond switch is better than what it looks because it's knocked out this entry to the club prematurely. Now he can enjoy his 2 hearts, but then he has to play a club. He's got to be very careful how he unblocks these spades. Yeah, probably did not be that careful. As long as you play spade before, well, you can play diamond or spade. In fact, there's no losing options for East-West. That's always a lovely position to be in. No losing options. So it's interesting if North could have played the timing slightly different. He wasn't to know the layout of the cards. We can see it all double dummy, if I remember. Because he needs to set up that club trick and the heart trick. And he can play hearts from dummy, but he can't play clubs from dummy. So potentially, if he played the 10 of clubs at trick 2, he would have been home, but then they can switch to a spade and that would defeat it. So it probably can never be made, that 3 of trumps, unless the defense is sleeping a bit, but they weren't. So we think there's 11 imps coming back one board now for the 7 diamonds.
You finesse the club. It's the 7 diamonds.
Does that make it?
No.
2 off then.
There's 1 off at the moment.
Okay, I'm sure there'll be some discussion about bidding 7 diamonds.
14 imps.
So it will be expensive because 6 diamonds made, of course, not just game. So 14 imps are back, which tightens up to 24 imps. They have already accounted for. I think they are. So a diamond pass won the trump. Now I can see what happened in the earlier board. Because of the pressure system, they have to pass some 12-13 balanced. And this case, as you can see, West passed. He didn't open the bidding, and now it protected who won the trump, which is 10 to 13, not 10 to 11, which I thought it was on board 17 or 18. So it was the system that got into a bad game rather than gross overbidding. So I'll take back my criticism on board 17, just in case Thomas is listening to this video afterwards. Not that I would be criticising it in any case. So Queen of Clubs won the trump by West. Interesting decision by East to pass rather than transfer. Should it matter that much? Probably not. Spades are line favourable. Southwood encouraging clubs, so you've potentially got 3 club losers. Spade loser, a heart loser. Maybe that's it. But where does South go for his tricks? Presumably the spade suit. And then once he cashes ace, you'll find immediate good news. So they're likely to make 4 spade tricks, 2 club tricks is 6. 2 diamonds is 8, maybe a heart is 9, but I don't think they'll make all these in time. So you probably won't even take the diamond finesse, you'll just give up a heart.
They're into 4 hearts on 29.
That's what they're in here, would they?
Yeah.
I think 29 is going to be flat. So I'm not certain, don't think I'll be, well, in fact, I know I won't be doing the next set on YouTube, but if there's enough interest, I'll do another one tomorrow. But it has to be one of the earlier matches because the European senior team starts tomorrow evening, and that involves quite a few of the well-known Irish players like BJ, Terry Walsh, Pat Barry, Rex Anderson, Theresa Wrigley, Joan Kenny, and I think I'm sneaking in there somewhere. And Ranald Mill. So there's plenty of bridge for you to watch if you're happy to continue watching. Whereas for this hand, I think they're probably going to settle for 7 tricks, even though they can't make 8. Let's see if he plays the Queen of Diamonds or the heart. I think he can afford the Queen of Diamonds first and then a heart. No rush to cast the spades because you're squeezing yourself a bit. Okay. Do some careful counting here. Just work up if you can afford to go for the extra overtrip. Oh, he doesn't have to do any counting now because he's just going to cash out. Wouldn't matter if he took the diamond finesse, I don't think. It's the same. 3 clubs, a diamond and spade. So we are coming to the final board. Thanks all for watching. And there's another set after this, which you can see on BBO. I don't know who's on Viewgraph yet. And it'll just be the first half of the match, the second half being continued tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for those of you that are up on a bank holiday Monday. Just checking on the scores. It's looking like it's back to just over a 4 VP lead for the Moran team, which is significant, but not decisive. And I think a lot of it is going to come down to how the Mark Moran team handles the Gay Keaveney and the Roshnik team, who have not been firing too well, but they're well able to beat them. So a diamond, which could only be a 4-card suited balance, which it is. A heart, one no trump, which doesn't deny 4 spades, as you can see. So not good hands for their methods, because they might miss the 4 spade fit, but South will proceed with some sort of check back, I presume. Just bid 4 hearts, 6-4 shape. Not a huge difference between 4 of either major, but the club is lying well. For the heart, the spade, and the club is all you lose in spades. And it's about the same in hearts, isn't it? But you might have to guess the heart right. It goes a heart, small, queen, small. Okay, 2 clubs, 4, 2 diamonds. It's possibly all he's going to do is invite in hearts now. Remember, we've seen some of the useless stuff they open 1 diamond with. So that's all he's done is invited in hearts, which is a slight underbid, no doubt. Well, he's slight. And North has got a poor 12 card, only a doubleton. So I don't see BJ doing much inviting with 6-4 shapes. His invitation bids generally involve bidding at the 4 level. So there is potential on 32. And there's potential on 30.
They're in 3 no trump on 30.
Okay, well, the potential is to make it, but I think realistically, unless East West are very, very tired, I think 30 will go off.
Club lead as well.
Okay, well, we're very certain 2 hearts is making in this room. So thanks all for watching. We're going to flick over to the other room. So if you stay on, you'll see the screen will change to the other room quite shortly. Okay, welcome to BJ's room. So we're in 3 no trump, probably a similar auction, and the same lead. And this is when they've got to play it quite carefully. So club was led, he won the queen. It's possible he might have considered overtaking with the king at the 10 back. Would that have helped him? It might have. If he'd overtaken the club with the king and put the 10 back, they guarantee 2 club tricks. And if the hearts are favourable, they would make 2 clubs, 4 hearts is 6, 2 diamonds is 8, and a spade 9. So you can see the danger of a spade switch is clear to everyone. I have a feeling, now this is double dummy, we can see it, but it probably is right to overtake the queen of clubs with the king and put the 10 of clubs on the table. But again, they can find the spade switch, so perhaps it doesn't matter to us. Same line they found in the other room. And let's see if West finds a spade or a diamond, which neither really matter. Both should defeat it. East feels his card is significant here. 100%. Okay. So 100% to overtake the club with the 10 with the king, James? No. But either way, spade switch is fatal. Whatever you do. So diamond switch was okay. Same signal. Actually, we want to be able to end play east if we can to lead a club. So we need to be ducking spades twice. If West finds a king of spades switch, if he finds the ace of diamond switch, is even more difficult. King of spades switch could be so disastrous if North has queen X. So it's not routine at all. But hardback won't work. Okay. Decided back, this diamond back was too slow. So he's ducked that once. Spade, club. And he's going to duck it again. And now he's going to throw a club on that. He's getting better placed. Now he's hoping to squeeze someone in diamonds and spades. What if he ducks that now? I think if he ducked that now, he's hoping. Just needed to duck it. Now he's not hoping. Wait. See if he ducked the spade and thrown a club. Although Jack of spades would have held, so that's not really would have catched the club, so forget that. So maybe he can't. So now we're down to this miraculous squeeze that doesn't actually happen. He could have won the ace of spades and given up a spade. So right, Terry, yeah. Yep. That would have been, well, you can do that now, can't you? Just give up a spade. Just give up a spade. No, for the currency line. Okay. I think that was a tiredness crept in. Gave up a spade and threw a club. Just needed the clubs 6-1, which seemed likely when West didn't come back and club, in fairness. Push forward, so an opportunity went to arrive. if we're ducking the spade, if we're giving up a spade to be right, then East had to have 6 clubs. Probably need to be watching the clubs from a very early stage. And East didn't know his partner had ace empty to 5 if he only had 5. West doesn't, so West would have returned a club with a double turn fairly soon. So I think that North really knew that West had singleton club, and if the Queen of Diamonds finesse is right, are you any better placed? I don't know if you are. Well, I think you're not. I think the diamond is an illusion. Okay, 2 boards to go, and there is opportunities on these boards. '31, they stopped in 2 spades, which was because they didn't open with the West hand, playing this pressure methods from Jay Barrett that they've inherited. You pass with your balanced 12-13s. You catch up later.
They played in one a trump.
Yeah. It backfired on board 17 when they reopened with 1 their trump, and they could have had a 13 count. They actually had a 10 count. So a diamond and spade won their trump for Fitzgibbon, which is 11-14. So I suspect East has to invite with hearts, with spades. He has to bid 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, or he could pass. Spade suit is pretty awful. If he invites, West is close to accepting, and 4 spades is close to making. Because the hearts do break 3-3, you've got a spade and 2 heart losers. I think you've got a lot of work to do, but that's what you lose. Because your diamond loser will go away on the long heart. Now, whether you've got entry problems galore, you've got to time it very, very carefully. And why should you play for the hearts 3-3 rather than the diamonds 3-3? Which would also be good enough. So this is going to be a fairly flattish board when the trump in both rooms. Same lead, and it's likely to be 8 tricks. Three clubs of spade and heart, you sort of must lose, and diamond finesse is right. You're forced to take it. So we're going to come down to board 32, which I think did have potential as well. Yes, board 32 could potentially be played in 4 spades, which I thought could make. We'll come back to it later. Okay, well, we won't go till the fat lady sang, which I don't think she'll be singing tonight. I think we wait until tomorrow for the result, which wasn't the case in the European trials. The result was virtually known with a day to spare.
Alice's team has pulled some back. They're now leading 11-27. This is board 29.
So it sounds as if the ownership team is making a late surge. They've pulled back from losing position to be leading against Moira O'Connor's team. A few boards to go. But they are 20 VPs behind Mark Moran's team, so the chances of them winning the event are low. But it's as if there's three divisions in it. There's the leading two, the third and fourth, which are very close, and the bottom two that are fighting for the wooden spoon, that are very, very close. And the bottom two are playing each other tomorrow, so that will be significant. They're both playing one of the top two teams. There's been a lot of discussions as to what the CBAI should do in trials, and it's a very, very mixed point. It's great to see these extra teams in the event, but the impact on the final result is significant. So that's an issue to be resolved. The difference between the European event and the Camrose has to be resolved, because the European event is significantly more important and difficult than the Camrose. And what do we do compared to other countries? Plenty of discussion points to be made, and I'm sure the discussions will go on and on. So this board's a bit not that interesting. That's why I'm looking back and forth. So my view on this particular stanza is there's been a lot of tiredness type exhibits from the Pigot team, which really makes me think you have to put less effort into the part scores and get the big decisions right. Not that they got many big decisions wrong. I suppose they're just small decisions they've actually got wrong. But the hands have not been that exciting. They're much more exciting in the first 16. Operator stressing, yeah, I can understand that. And well done to all the viewgraph operators. It's a tough task, and it can be very tiring, certainly with the large number of boards. And that's Eamon. I don't know who else is there. Presumably Michael McCullough is there. Terry was there yesterday. Bree Kemper was there. Well done to them all. And this video is saved on YouTube, so I don't think the hands are worth it. But the first set were very interesting. So if anyone wants to listen to the video again and some of the hands, there was a lot of useful tips that we introduced. Feel free to look at it, and I can send you the link if you don't have it. First time we've ever tried this on YouTube, so it's prototype, so we might try it again. So they only made 7 tricks, so there's one more imp to Peter Pigot. And the view graph archive is very useful, so you can see the hands that way. You can see all the play, all the bidding. But it's sometimes useful to have a translation of the bidding, because they are playing some quite powerful new methods, many of which I don't follow myself, but some of them are become quite standard. So a diamond opener, okay, it's got a bit of shape. If that was balanced, he would have passed it. Oh no, it's forgiven though, they would. A diamond is 2 card suit, sorry, 2 card suit, the player position. So they made it difficult for North-South because they bid South suit. So it's unlikely they're going to get to game now in this auction, and they didn't. So 4 spade, as you can see, is it's not necessarily a great contract. It needs 3-2 break in both the majors, and maybe needs ace of clubs right as well. So for those of you who know your odds, that's roughly 70% of 70% by 50%. 49 and 24%. You don't want to be in it. But game does make out read. So they're in 2 hearts. Quite likely to guess the hearts wrong here after West has opened the bidding. Could play a heart on the 10. Got to get to dumming. Okay, so his club lose away just in case the ace of clubs is with East and the ace of hearts with West. Okay, the wrist on. So you can always throw a spade lose away on the diamond. Play nicer for him now. He can throw his club lose away with impact. Oh, surprised he threw a spade rather than a club. There we go. Very surprised. And this is the problem because West is opened and he doesn't know where the ace of clubs is. Same as the other room, gets the diamond wrong. Okay, well, it's going to be a flat board. Potentially be a bit more. So a 4 VP lead for the Moran team over the Pigot team overall. And we'll see some of you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.